Hi. Hello. What's happening? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you're guilty as charged. End of story. I have some fake fish to repair. What are you all doing? Welcome to the show. Here we are again. RC3D Fab Factory. Hopefully y'all are getting to work on something fun. Tell me all about it in the chat, if you would. I might be by myself today. I don't know yet. Seems that way. So, yeah. What's up, Dad? I've been working on a kit, another kit, which is always fun. I just started the other night. I got the kit Friday, and I think it was Saturday I started working on it. Maybe it was Friday night. I can't remember. But it's done, except the paint. This is going to be great. The Origin Classic is done except for paint. No reason to bolt in the bodywork stuff until the paint is done. But this built really nice. It's dialed. Vanquish makes really nice kits. I'm glad to have a straight axle version. There was only one little error in the manual. It was no big deal. And easy to figure out. It's not wrong, or it's not right. Pretty right away. Yeah, these are solid. These are nice. And like any kit, if, let's just say, when you put in the gear that you think you're supposed to put in, and then you put on the housing for the transmission and it doesn't fit, well, it's the wrong gear. I mean, it's easy, but if you've never done it, you wouldn't know. But it's like, man, if the halves don't close or fit together, you may have the wrong gear in there. So I have done some manuals that are seem to be a little better in regards to some of that, but yeah, this is going to be fantastic. So it is, everything is super low on this. The motor transmission sits really, really low. The skid is multiple pieces, but it creates quite an underneath. And then the body fits in between those rock rails and those beveled posts extremely well. Rock light provisions on the inner fenders. Shock hoops built into the inner fenders, which is neat. And then you see the hole through the inner fenders front and rear. There's a big pin that goes through there and retains the body. So you don't have body posts in this thing. Now, I don't have any of the bits bolted on, so that is what it is. But it's an International Scout, man. You gotta love those. I do. And I don't know, but this one might end up being a snow star too. I don't know yet, but it's nice. And so yeah, that'll clamp it down when you run the but this thing drove last night. It's all electronically, it's done. 100% ready to rock, dude. Motor, servo, new rims and tires, Patagonias on. I've got a few sets of these. I like having them around. Had the worst part's the shocks, because you got 2 circlips to do on each one, and there are no extra. I did think I lost one for a second. I didn't, but I'm like, holy smokes. Now, there are some little spare part bits, and I don't know if they had a circlip in there or not, but I did not have to go find it. Thank goodness. So, yeah, this is a repop of a classic. So this is the Origin Classic, but one of Vanquish's first rigs was called the Origin. It was very similar, but they definitely made some improvements, and pretty pumped about it. It does have 6.5% overdrive, and that is done in the transmission because the diff gears front and rear are the same. So is the output drive. So the overdrive is done in the transmission somehow, which is cool. Cool. But that's it. I just knocked this out, man. Like I said, I got it Friday or Saturday and rocked it out. Rocked it out. Let's see. I just sent you a pic, Dad. We're getting rocks and fake seaweed and stuff, but the bowl showed up today. The official pop culture aquarium size bowl showed up. So I told her once we get the rocks and architecture, I think she wants a little castle or something in there. Once we get it laid out, then I would get the strings cut to size and all that stuff. Bob's RC, what's going on? Kind of low-key brokey tonight. The other night I did a late night unboxing, which turned into a start on the assembly for the Vanquish Origin Classic, which is done, except for painting the body now. Nice kit. Nice kit. You got a new Surface RC? What'd you get? Oh, transmitter. Yeah. DX6C, that's a good one. I've had the DX5C, DX5 Pro, and the DXC Plus, which is just like the DX5C and the 6C. It's a good radio. It's a good radio. I put the thumb wheel on it because I like that. So same with the DX6C. If you have an extra DX3 laying around that's got the thumb wheel, it will fit. But you have to use the stock screw. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't like that either. I like to have a real wheel. A wheel is my favorite. And this was easy. I bound it up last night. Good to go. I think this truck deserves lights, so I will probably get some. But man, it's been too nasty to like paint bodies here. Yeah, it's a good radio. Is it one of the updated versions? Are you able to bind the SLT stuff like the Mojave Groms and things? Some will, some won't. It depends. But if you wanted to try to bind it to SLT, it makes sense to do the update before you get a bunch of models in there. Peter Griffin, what up? But that's pretty much it. I haven't done anything to the Corvair since I printed it off, really. I need to design some body mount stuff for it. And I got to figure out what transmission I want to use too. Yeah, man. Hopefully you guys have decent weather where you're at. We got out and ran on Sunday, and I need to fix my Ford now. The snow was deep. We had to stay on the trail or we were getting nowhere. And man, I got stuck one time and I put my foot under it in the middle and was just trying to help it and back it up. And it grabbed my foot and rolled my foot up under the arch in the rear, which there's not room for a hiking boot foot between there. So it broke because of me. Otherwise, that thing has been bulletproof. I mean, yeah, you can't roll a foot between the arch and the tire and think it's gonna work. So yeah, just cracked it on the glue joint. No problem. Easy fix. But it did good. The Trepidors are nice tires. It's the new one with smart technology. Yeah, in one of the telling tales is if you are in vehicle type, if it offers you vehicle type and then it gives you the option of SLT basic, SLT with DSC, SLT with four-wheel steer, that's kind of a modern convenience update that the newer stuff has. Some of the Pros and perhaps 6 can be updated to do the SLT protocols, but it depends on when it was made. So some of them won't be able to. But if you don't have the little ones that you're trying to bind to, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's a good little Vanquish. Can you see it at all? Vanquish with nothing but H's. 77 Monday. We still have snow all over, but it's starting to melt. Like it. I do. So what else is going on? Yeah, I don't think Kelly's got... He's tied up this time. That's all right. So what else is new? I did get some of the wood bits that I ordered to finish off the Unimog bed I was wanting to make. So I ordered this. The trim is fine. but the sides, bro. If you're on Amazon and you're looking at a description and it says 4 surfaces, do you feel like you're going to get 2 pieces of wood or 4 pieces of wood? Because if it's a piece of wood, do they really have to take up a number for the front and the back? 4. Yeah, well, guess what? They mean front and back twice. So this is my 4 surfaces right here, 2 pieces of wood. Come on, man. It's a little thicker than I wanted it to be as well. But it's okay. I can use it. And then the short sides, the reason I bought wood for this is because this is a little too long to print. But the short sides, I think I will be able to print off. Let's mock that up real quick a little bit. Shall we? Yes, we shall. But I'm digging the Scout, man. I can't wait to get this one painted. And I feel like the Snowstar scheme is so iconic, like my big dog here, that I might do it to this one too. Yes. So it was cheaper to buy 50 than like 4. So I got these little tiny sticks that I'm going to use to make the part of the bed. And this. It's getting warm. What's up, Bachelor? How are you? So yeah, should have been 4, but it was 2. But it is the right size, basically. And then I got a lot to do here to this, but basically this thing was heavy duty metal, so it's going to have a profile on it, like that, kind of top and bottom, and get me all the way around. And yeah, man, utility truck. No worries, man. Good to see you. I'm gonna probably paint it just like the rig, so it'll look like it's metal. But this is a TRX 4 with 2.2s on it that fit really perfect on the arch for this 3D printed Unimog kit. Where's my ruler, man? It should always be here. I was totally using it. There it is. So coming across, oh yeah, I'll be able to print the short sides because 265 is the print bed that I have. So I'll be able to make some stock that is going to work for, this size. And if I should put up, I do print my own bodies. Yes. A lot of my 10 scale and 6 scale, all my 6 scale rigs and a lot of my 10 scale rigs are 3D printed bodies. Antmo, yeah, this Unimog kit, where did I get it? It was Umagine or somewhere. And it's a pretty complete kit. It comes with a manual and everything. But yeah, there's going to be these like profile bits that are on here. And then this will get dressed up. And whatever I got to do to make it look right. It may have to be a little taller. I don't know yet what it needs to be. But this was pretty close. But I'll get this done. And I'll show you guys a picture of what the inspiration is for this one. My buddy has a real one in Muncie. But yeah, that's 3D printed. The big Scout's 3D printed. These two are 3D printed. The big red SCX6 is 3D printed. There's a lot that is, man. Yeah, dude. You should check out the RC Truck playlist because of these 3D printed rigs. There's videos of them. And that Willie's wagon was modeled after a full-scale channel called Fab Rats. And they made one. It's basically an LS swapped Chevy rig underneath to make that Willie's wagon what it was. So I got a video of it. Running. Let's see. Tamiya. This Unimog is for a TRX4, the one that I did here. But there's a ton of them out there. And then some of them are really boxy. I kind of like the more rounded look of the body, a little more old school than I feel like some of the boxy lines are. But let me try to put up a picture of the Inspirato on that uni. Let's see. Ha ha. That's it. So you can see where that square stock's going to come into play. What's up, Jeff in Lower Alabama? But yeah, that's the inspiration. That's my buddy's uni. Mike Bird. Yeah, I'll show you in a minute. Yeah. But yeah, let me get this off. So yeah, man, this one I modeled it after the Fab Rats. Two-tone white. The door was from something else. So, and then I used styrene for the trim, and this door didn't have any. Pretty fun. But yeah, this one, it drove pretty good. It's kind of top heavy. But I built this one on a base camp chassis. But I've repurposed it. Hey, Mike Bird, the origin is right there. It's done except for the body. No paint. No paint, obviously, wintertime. But this thing drove on my desk last night. So it's done. Gorgeous kit, man. First kit I ever built was a Vanquish. And then I've built a few since then, like 5 base camps and RC 4-wheel drive Leafer. But, man, these are nice. These are super nice. The shocks are really plush. Yeah, man, it's a dialed-in kit. And I originally was wanting to get a VS410 to do the Project IJ 3D print project. But dude, I like Scouts, and then they came out with this re-release on the Origin with no body posts. I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna leave it. It's gonna be a Scout. And I did try to see if my Corvair body would fit on here just for giggles. It's not wide enough. So yeah, I got further on the kit, bro. It's done. It's done. it's pretty good. Pretty good. So I'll set the Scout on the Scout. I got new wheels and tires on it. And yeah, lots of little projects happening. Unimog needs some attention. And then this leftover part base camp project. I just really got to get a transmission and another motor. But this is going to be Mike, I think I may do another Snowstar on that one, on the Origin, like my big one here. I think I may do another one of those. I'm not sure. But this one's going to be fun too. I got to design some mounts for it, but it's this one's inspired from Matt's Off-Road Recovery, another full-scale channel I watch. And if you ever wondered if we nail the arches or not, flipping the chassis upside down and putting it on there is a good way to tell. Nailed it. But yeah, man, I got to grab a transmission for this one. I did buy some skids and a couple little things for this. The servo I was going to use for this, I ended up using in the Vanquish. Man, I got a Vanquish RTR servo for $15 off of RC Chop Shop, so that's what I put in the Vanquish. And why not? So I'll get another one for this. I have some servos laying around, but $15. The torque's not bad. RTR, it's fine. I mean, if you get too strong of a servo, that's when you break stuff. So it's like if I'm that bound up, I'll just grab it. What's up, Flapping Lips? I got my Origin Classic built, dude. Just got to paint it. Jenny's RC has the base camp transmission. Bro, I'm going right now. Hold on. Are you sure it's not just another 10.3 transmission? Because there's a difference. Let's go. So Jenny's RC and RC Chop Shop have been really good places to get some stuff. Let's go to Jenny's RC real quick. You talking about the CJ7 transmission? Yeah, that's what it is. Which, if I do that, I have to change the front servo mount, and I think the skid too. I mean, it's not the end of the world, though. I was thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah, then I need a different. It is the CJ7 trans, and then I need a different skid. I'm pretty sure. But if you buy the plastic parts, you get the skid, the inner fenders, the rock rails, all that stuff. Shock hoops, the different servo mount, because you'll need a different servo mount if you're doing that. That may be the way to go. That may be the way to go. I do, yeah. I wish I had a 10.2 skid because I'd like to see how it fits. Because the transmission I bought, which is kind of chintzy, Amazon deal, it's totally for a 10.2 skid, even though they listed it different. But the CJ7 style 10.3, like the early Bronco and the Rubicon and the Gladiator, is a bit more of a scale looking motor transmission setup, which allows for more of a scale interior if that's what you're into. The base camp transmission is not that. But they're good. They've been bulletproof for us. We got them going about 40 miles an hour even, some of those. For a crawler is crazy. But yeah, man, that one's built off of parts. And I got some new rod ends put on it the other day. But yeah, man, all I'd have to do on this one is put in the CJ7 skid and I'd be okay. Nice. Oh, that's a good idea. There we go. Think I finally have the gear I need to get into this Phoenix Portal kit build. From Trucks of Fortune, hoping to maybe start the build in the next few days. We'll be doing lives of each bag of the build. Nice. Nice. I want to. I kind of want to sell that Phoenix Portal kit so I can get an Origin. Yeah. I kind of want the Origin kit though, man. Which are harder to come by than the RTR, but I just like wrenching. Anybody wants kits but doesn't want to build the kits, I will build it for you. So I heard that the model train side of models asking for support from tariffs on designing trains, causing a ruckus in the niches we have. Yeah, I don't know. If you heard it, I suppose it's so. So yeah, you guys want to see a kit build on a Vanquish Portal, man? Check out these old flapping lips on YouTube, and you can do it. And you can do it. Yeah, Chop Shop had the transmission too, but it was CJ7 stuff as well. I almost did it. So what else? Waiting on good weather to paint for me. I need to design some mounts for this Corvair deal. But I like it. This is going to be all right. I need to reinforce it, and I haven't done any finish work at all on this. I want to make this one strong because I actually am going to print off a bigger one to go on my stretched out pre-runner, which is more like a short course 10 scale instead of a crawler now because of axle extensions and stretching it out. So that is the one that needs to be stronger than this one's going to need to be. But dude, after looking at the derp system on the new Origin Classic, the way the body mounts, it's got my wheels turning. It's like, how can I do that for everything? Because I really like that system, that idea of pinning through the arches to hold the body on. Man, that's nice. Pull the pins, lift the body off, do what you got to do battery-wise, and get on with it. What motor's in my Phoenix kit? I have it's probably the 2300 kV Spectrum. And I will look right now, actually. And it's not a 2-in-1. It's got a dedicated ESC. But it's got a dig and 2 overdrives in it. No, it's not a Fusion in the... in my new Vanquish is a Fusion 1800, but in the Portal is not. And this is not going to have a Stinger bumper. Don't get mad. I had an extra CJ7 bumper. Yeah, the ride height is not ready on this one, but the arches are good. Go ahead, dog. Letting the dog in. Who let the dog out? This is a nice rig. All right, what I put in here? The 4S Fusion? No, I haven't. What have I done? I'm so happy with the 1800s Fusions. This is kind of neat how this one works. What's up, Dwayne? There's a little pin in the front that can be a hinge, but that's easy to pull too. Maybe I'll pull it. Yeah, this has the VFD twin, so there's a lot more to do in this transmission than there was on the Classic. Then you pull this pin out, and that undoes the hinge here in the front, so you can get rid of everything. It's got the incision light kit in it, and the motor is hard to see because it's down in there, man. I'm pretty sure it's the 2300 though. Can't hardly see it though. Yeah, that's got to be the 2300. And then the ESC, like I say, it's dedicated, but it's still FOC. It's brushless. Do they have a 2800? Do they have a 2800 Spectrum motor? But yeah, dig, 2 overdrives, first kit build. It probably time to put new oil in the shocks, but it's definitely specific to the Phoenix. You can see the wedge of the inner fenders and the rock rails, which so the Fordyce and the Phoenix FJ45 work with these rock rails and bumper package and all of that. Field-oriented control, otherwise known as active track, depending on who you ask. And it's nice. So with FOC, let's say what happens without FOC first. If you just had a regular old motor and you come up to a rock, you got to give it a little more gas to get over it. With FOC, if you approach that rock at 1 speed, it hits the obstacle, maintains the RPM coming up and down the backside. So if you're filming, which I seem to do a lot of, it's super nice. And I got spoiled with the FOC on the SCX6s. The first brushless power system I had in a crawler was the it is censored, Chris, yes. The first FOC I had was the SCX6. Yeah, you can see the big sensor wire right there in the I don't pay for resolution, so this is what we get. But yeah, man, this is a good one. It's Portal. It's been around, but it's in great shape. It's in great shape. And yeah, that was my first Lexan body I ever painted. And so I painted it on the inside like rust color. And then I painted on the outside the white and blue. And sanded here and there and scrubbed. I did the weather stripping too. I masked that off and did the black around the windows and stuff inside. Yeah, man, I like it. This one was inspired from Fab Rats as well. Their FJ45 build. Yeah, man, it's a good one. Protect servos, Savox servos, Protect steering servo, which has been fine. I mean, it's pretty much a race servo, but it's been fine. Protect, Savox. That's what's in it. I think they may have a 2800. Let me look that up real quick. Real quick here. I will, Chris. I just paid the bill to FedEx today for accidentally sending you stuff express. They would not let me get out of it. Started threatening collection. I'm like, shut your face, dude. I'll pay it. By the way, it's $160. And I was like, there's no way to contact them because I wanted to tell them, by the way, delete and remove my account. Forget we ever met. I kind of hate your guts. But there was no place for me to put that in. I wanted to leave a note. Yeah, they're the worst, bro. Yeah, there is a 2800 kV motor. That it's either 2800 or 2300. I can't see it good enough. And I'm thinking it was a combo. So I'm trying. That'll help me verify it too. Yep, guarantee it. That's what it is. So it's it's censored Firma 60 amp ESC 2800 kV censored motor crawler combo. That's what I put in there when I built it. Ty, what up? From Ohio, welcome. First time. Man, we're just going over crawler projects I'm working on. You know, I got some that have been sitting here half done for a minute, and then others that showed up Saturday and they're done except for the paint. The Origin Classic, you know, the new release from Vanquish, I've got it done and built. It just needs paint. And I will probably do the paint scheme the same as the big SCX6 right here, I think. I had somebody, my buddy Kirk has somebody that can do the decals. So I'll just shrink down the Snowstar decals a little bit and put them on the new one. Ty. My wife bought the Turbo Timber with my Oh. Which one she get you? Oh, the micro. Oh. You should have got the big one. Is that what you're saying? Oh, let's see. Yeah, man. Anybody wants a kit but doesn't want to build a kit, let me know, bro. I'll build it for you. I like it. I like it. I do like it. Yeah, so this is a hell of a rig, dude. Nice kit, all the servos, all the things, nice power system. It's a good one. Incision lights. Yeah, man. So when I run this one, I always use a battery that has a balance lead so I can run the lights. All right, we'll put Humpty Dumpty back together again there. The hinge thing is nice because you just undo the back. So let's get that in. Back together. Wild Bill, what's up? The little light will do you. So once that pin goes in, then there's a body clip out of sight that holds it in, which is cool. You don't have to mess with it too much unless you want it off to do work. There we go. You guys can see me, but everything I'm looking at is on the dark side of the moon right here. It's the worst. Come on, man. There we go. Can't see on the dark side of the moon, y'all. Yes, this one's a nice one. And if it was, I'm such a weird purist. If it was straight axle, I probably wouldn't get rid of it. But it's not. Dark side of the moon, my gosh, dudes. It's not that deep, as they say. Smash that button, he says. Smash it. Bro, I used to have such good eyes I could see into the future. Now, my word. That's why I put the Unimog on that TRX4, because the portals make sense. I'm surprised Traxxas doesn't have a straight axle kit. Bro, I'm so sick of being blind. It doesn't help that these body clips are bent up. They were racing body clips. Yeah, you can get rock lights for them all day. All day, man. I didn't put them on this one. The axial rock light kit is easy to mess with, and you can change the colors on it, which is nice. I think I put them on my CJ. I cannot hold the light and do this at the same time. My gosh, yo. It really is not that hard, but I made it hard. There it is, man. Dope. So that one's available. Base Camp Scout, it's available. The big 4.9 Friday. Oh, your eyes. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I could see forever. And then over the last couple of years, nope. But yeah, man. So yeah, oh yeah, they're easily $500, $600 rigs used. But Yeah, if you add up what you put in it, that that's how it goes. Though you'll end up having something, depending on what you do with the power systems and the wheels and everything. You could be up there easily. But that's the thing about used. There's deals to be had. What's next on the printer is probably going to be a bigger, yeah, it's a Toyota LC80, a bigger Corvair for pre-runner chassis, which is stretched out and longer and wider than a regular crawler. This is the FMS LC80. And I changed this to brushless and changed the tires. But this is the FMS LC80, and it's a hell of a rig, dude. You get 2 speeds, inner fenders, lights, all this stuff for like $350. Under $4, which is fantastic. So it's got now I changed the power system, and so there's that, and the tires. But so that means I got a new receiver in here, and I have a Spectrum 2300 2-in-1. Yeah, Chris, those are awesome. That's a big print bed. Yeah. They reached out to me one time, and I was like, send me your Cubic. Send me your Cobra 3 Max. And they're like, I can't because of tariffs. I'm like, well, I mean, you're the one who started, you emailed me. So bring it. But yeah, man, so this is a lot of rig for an RTR. Straight axle. We did a video of this at a really nice place where I ran it totally stock. And it did pretty good. I thought the drag brake kind of sucked, but it did really good otherwise. But there's a guy I follow on Facebook who's got a real LC80 that he put crazy. I think he's got Dana 60s underneath it, and he's running Goodyear MTRs too, which are this unique kind of asymmetric treaded tire. And I like those wheels, and those are aluminum bead locks. I took off the stock tires, but yeah, so this thing is brushless now, and I had to undo their light controller and hook it up a different way, but this has lights. Never mind, can't be in here. What? All right, see you later. Did you ask something I missed? So yeah, the red LC80. It does look very TRX4. And if it were a TRX4, you'd be over $5. That's why I think this joint for $350, 2 speeds, lights, inner fenders, clipless body is a steal from FMS. I like Toyotas too. I kind of have a lot of Toyotas. Toyotas, Internationals, Jeeps, kind of weird stuff. It does look very TRX4. What's funny about this motor was I thought this was a trashed motor, but it was just, when you calibrate a motor, a power system, it's not always written that you have to be, when you calibrate a system, you're hitting endpoints with triggers, full brake, full reverse, full forward, whatever, right? Full left, full right. If you are on a good radio where you have dialed in the throws or the amount of travel on reverse because you don't want it to be really fast or something, what happens when you try to calibrate is you never hit the endpoint signal that it needs to really calibrate correct. So this motor used to be in, I think, the Willys wagon. And man, I tried everything. It didn't work. So I got a new motor. And then I saw the fine print one day or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's why I had the travel knocked down. And so I put the travel to 100%, calibrated it, and it worked. But what was funny was I cut the wires on this motor because I'm like, it's dead. I don't want to use it by mistake, whatever. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to solder this thing back together and try it because I think maybe it's fine. And it was just me. The flight simulator, I would say with iOS, so Apple, man, I don't know. I know for RC, the real flight can't be beat, but it's not going to work with Apple. What's up, Crazy Quad Brothers? Anybody got an answer for Antmo, though, that makes sense to anybody in here? Hard to find 96 4Runner hard body. Like to build a copy of what I drive. You got a 3D printer, man? Look at Colts 3D. Look at Colts 3D. Real flight, absolutely. But yeah, dude, this is a good one. And a gift from one of my viewers, dude. Fantastic. Rock rails, inner fenders, all this crazy cool stuff for good price. Got a driver figure. Clicks in and stays in, but you want it to click twice. Bit of a misnomer, the first click. But yeah, dude, RTR FMS, not bad at all. Not bad at all. I didn't do anything but change the wheels and the power system. You know, it's a bit of an overlander, so it's going to be a little bit top heavy, but not bad. And now it's super fast. With the 2300 kV in here, this thing is fast in first gear, and second gear is stupid. Yeah, you can't beat this one. The stickers are not necessarily stock. I did those. I had them left over from FJ55 RC four-wheel drive build I did. Which is here. You got to have a couple leaf spring rigs. So most of the RC four-wheel drive stuff is hard bodies. This is actually one of theirs that they put out Lexan. But I painted it on the outside because I like to weather the paint a little bit. But Marty McFly's in there. Cow print upholstery. I'm not a super fan of these tires, but leaf spring, I did all the things, dude. I got the metal bumpers and the skids and the rock rails, which are add-ons for this. So this is the Iron Pig. This was a kit build as well. And it's got a Fusion in it. So it's I love the axles and the leaf springs. This is the long wheelbase TF2 from RC four-wheel drive. And man, all the chrome bits that are way too shiny, I used Nuln oil on and knocked down the shine. No, these are just Goodyear Wranglers, old school deep dish Goodyear Wranglers that I've had forever. But they're 475s. They actually fit good. This kit comes with smaller tires, like 419s on 155s, which are small. So yeah, this is a regular crawler tire and it fits in there really good. But I'd probably let this one go too, man. And it's got a Fusion in it, which a trail truck doesn't really need, but it does. I wish you could see it better because the weathering is pretty good. But I really love the, I used fabric, literal fabric for the upholstery in there. And the kit comes with, usually with the leaves, there's a stack of them that they expect you to use. If you use all the leaves, it's way too stiff. And so I just used one. None of the small ones is what I did on this. Iron Pig, another Toyota FJ55. I like it. I didn't put the lights in, but this was a bear, dude. This Lexan, you have to screw. I think you had to do all your own holes for all of these screw-on bits, and then the screw-on bits hold the that interior in there. So, man, there was a lot to do to this. Yeah, but you can see there's some rust on there. And I did like I did on the FJ, where I painted like a rust color underneath, and then I did what I do on the outside, and then kind of rough it up and dull it some. Because if you look at the box art on this FJ55 kit from RC 4-wheel drive, you'll laugh. It's awful. It's awful. The truck looks like chastity. Bad. But yeah, dude, it comes with plastic bumpers. But like I said, I upgraded everything. I got a good motor in it, good servo, probably eco power, nothing fancy, but metal bumpers, front and rear, skids, rock rails. Yeah, the whole thing. I actually bought this rig because I was thinking about using these axles on this. Another Toyota. This is another FMS rig. They call it 1/6 scale, but it's like a 10 scale. It's like a big 10 scale. And this comes with coilovers. These tires are just kind of placeholders right now. The LC80 is wearing the tires this used to have. But these are the tires that were on the LC80. But I put the leaf spring kit on this and got rid of the coilovers. This one's brushless now. I think I changed the servo. It's got a winch on it. Yeah, I changed the servo. Yeah, it's got a winch controller and all that business in there now. Just overkill. And then I've got a driver, a 3D printed guy. I did have Bob Ross in here forever. But now I have scaled up and made bigger the driver that comes with the CJ7 files if you do the Night Custom 3D print upgrade for the Axial CJ7. So that dude moves. His head will move if you throw a servo on him. And these FMS rigs, not all of them, but this one and the Michigan, the steering wheel moves with the wheels. So his arms will move. But I didn't put a servo in his head. But that's Matt from Scale Builders Guild driving this. How much money's in this? I mean, the leaf spring kit's $50. Upgrade the motor, Hobby Wing like $1,800. Those are like $80, $90. Different servo. I really don't want to hear myself add it up. Different servos, maybe $50, $60 unless you go crazy. And then the winch is going to be $80, $90 or something like that. And then when you throw good tires on it, there's another $150. But this is a hell of a rig, hard body FJ40. And if you leave it alone, you're out the door for like $350. And when I first got this, I thought I would weather it and everything, but gosh, it looks so good. And then I ordered, so I've got real metal emblems on here. I ordered them from like RC 4-wheel drive or something. And so I've got some extras on here. There's some emblems that are really metal here and there. I didn't add any lights. So the lights it has are just like the headlights that it comes with. That's it. But yeah, when I first bought that FJ55 RC 4-wheel drive kit, I thought those axles would look really good under here. But they weren't even close to being wide enough. So, but yeah, this rig for leaf spring, again, the leaf spring kits on this also came with more leaves than you need. So I don't think I'm only using, if it comes with like 4 leaves on a corner, I'm only using 2. The big long one, which you need for the shackles, and then a short one. By using the short one, I spread the load at the U-joint where I don't need to worry about an anti-wrap bar. So yeah, and this comes with a roof rack, but I took it off right away. I like yellow. I like Toyota. And I had this winch, so I was like, I'm just going to put it on. It's actually an 8 scale winch instead of a 10 scale, but on this 6 scale Toyota, it fits. Doors open, all that stuff, man. And yeah, this thing, because it's leaf sprung, it's stiffer than a regular coilover. So when I pull a trailer, this rig has been out on the trails putting in mileage, pulling another rig more than it's been out on its own. I see Harley's building a leaf spring kit. I doubt it. That'd be funny though. He's not about them usually, but so yeah, that's another FMS rig. And if you get I think it's a leaf spring kit or the leaf spring parts for the Atlas from them, that's how you do it. But if you want a leaf spring kit, if you can get a hold of the 1/6 scale Jimny they make, it's basically the same stuff, except they undersling the leaves instead of putting them on top. So the ride height is not there, but you can take it apart and change it. So I have bought 4 or 5 of those FMS Jimnys and turned them into other things. Like this is leaf sprung. The trimmer's truck up here is leaf sprung. A Winnebago Tonka truck is leaf sprung. Yeah, it adds up, but I don't really do anything else. I work. I'm a dad, and I wrench on this stuff. I used to fly all the time, but the only time I get to be in my own head is generally in the middle of the night. So I'll sit here and wrench, watch YouTube, hang out in other live streams and stuff. Harley did cover the Boom Racing kit on Scale News the other day, and it's got options, I think, for Leafs. Looks like a mud truck. Yeah. So what else, man? What else you guys want to see? Surfboard. Why? This rig was a lot of hand fab and 3D print. And this is a leaf spring rig. Those FMS Jimneys are the best cheap leaf spring you can get, because otherwise you're going to pay for them. License plate floor, but it's a FMS Jimny leaf sprung kit. This is my dad's rig that I still have. One of the first ones I did, but a lot of hand fab on this one. Trimmer's truck, man. You ever see the movie Trimmers? Come on. How cool is that? What's up, Flyboy? The Phoenix kit has Spectrum in it, which I don't even know if I have it bound up to anything right now. It was bound up to my 5C. It's on my 5 Pro right now. That's what it is. I moved it over to the 5 Pro. But yeah, it's a SR 515 receiver in it. And man, the settings, I can give you the numbers or send you pictures of the you know what I'm saying? The travels for the dig and the overdrive shifting servos. Yeah, this one's fantastic. And it's got little 419 tires on it, Boom Racing rims, and 419 like Proline BFGs, which looked pretty good. And I weathered this one, and one of the first times I played with an airbrush was this rig. The DXC Plus is fantastic, Chris. It'll do all the small stuff and the big stuff. SLT protocol and DSMR, which is the big rigs, and the little tiny stuff. Like I could use my DXC Plus on my SCX 30 if I want. And my Grom's already on it. This one is one of my favorite also. Leaf spring rigs. I remember when I found this rig. So it was 3D files, and I think I was just looking up internationals. I was new to 3D printing, and I saw the thumbnail for this. And it was red, and it had white bumpers, and it had like white rims on the tires, and it was brand new shiny showroom. And I was like, what is that? And it's an International Travelall 1964. Beautiful. And I put this one on, I 3D printed it, and I put this one on an FMS Jimny chassis as well. So it's another leafer on 419s and brushless, you know. This one has a 2300 in it. And Richard Dreyfuss from Jaws. I patinaed this one. And I wanted to go with smaller tires because I just love the contour of these arches and the headlights and tail lights of this one. I did lights on this one, didn't I? I think I did. Yep, I did. Yep, there's lights on this one. So, yeah, 1964 Travel, something you don't see all the time. And I made a 6-scale version of this as well. But another leafer. This actually does really good for being what it is. The worst part about these is the departure angle is garbage trash. But I love the patina on it. I learned a lot doing it. But dude, FMS Jimny. Take those chassis, flip the leaves. You can move the shackles around. You can do whatever you want with those. And they're not super expensive. And where the motor and transmission is in a good spot to maintain really as much of a scale interior as you kind of want to do. I mean, they're going to be stiff. They're leafs. And if you go with the really loose leafs that perform good, then all of a sudden now you've created the necessity for anti-wrap bars and extra stuff to keep the axle from rotating. Thanks, Mike. And man, yeah, these files were out there. I mean, the guy who makes these files makes them for static models. And we blow them up and make them work. DXC Plus is great, dude. It is. It's like 170. It's a hell of a radio for that money. You look at like a DX3. I think a DX3 which is an RTR radio with a receiver is like $130. It's like, man, spend a little more and get like a really nice radio. Kelly's okay. He just had work stuff happening. He told me earlier today he probably wasn't going to make it. Andre Bezrodny is the guy who makes the files I like the best. I still need to come up with something. There's too much real estate back here. I need signage. Signage. So yeah, that's some 3D printed rigs on Leafs. And this one's on, this is 3D printed. It's on Basecamp 10.3. This was the Willys wagon chassis, but I took it off and did this. And this is the same files as the Big Scout, except Kelly helped me chop the box back off because I wanted to do a little truck version. This is a nice Basecamp. Straight axle, reef servo. What motor did I do? I'll know when I look at the battery connector. 1800 Fusion. I can tell because it's yellow XT60. But this, sometimes I'll build a box to hide the shock towers. On this one, that's it. And I made that be the battery area. And then that goes over the top. So, I mean, I didn't lose the bed completely, but just a little. But it's worth it. It didn't make sense in a small rig like this to build a box for the battery. It's like, man, just let me make a whole fake tailgate. This has the Mickey Thompsons that come on the CJ7 on deep dish on this one. But yeah, this one's nice. Base camp straight axle kit build. This driver moves his head and his arms. I got just a little chunk of brass on there. But yeah, the approach is really good on here. And the departure's not awful. And we kind of shrunk the bumper up. The bumper is supposed to hang down below the body, but I've got it. We made it work where we shrunk it a little bit and tucked it up about 1/4 inch or so. So it's not below the body, but like matches the body. So you get a little bit better there. I do have short course 2-wheel drive Team Associated race rig. And my pre-runners 2-wheel drive twin I-beam crawlers are pretty fast. But 2-wheel drive 10 scale buggy, 2-wheel drive 10 scale short course, both Team Associated race rigs I do have. That's all the short course stuff I have, though. I do have 8 scale buggy and truggy, though, and an oval car, late model oval car, 2-wheel drive, which was a slash, so kinda was a short course rig. Not anymore. The mint julep. I love the back side of these things. I think I did lights on this too. Yeah, I did. Yeah, man. Rigs. I haven't raced for a minute, but my buddy's got a track inside now. I need to get over there. It's about half hour out of town, but I used to race every week, indoor off-road. And then in the summer, I'd race 10 scale short course and 8 scale buggy and truggy outside in the loose sandy conditions, which was fun. I printed off a little tiny Hilux that I hate. So I'm not going to use it. But dude, the SCX 30 looks so stinking good already. It's like you can't hardly beat it just the way it is. Hard body K10. It's pretty good. I think I like these better than the 24 scale. But I do like bigger. Like, you're not going to find me working on these. Like, I'm cool with this, how it comes. I did want to get one just so I could see about messing with bodies. But I can't imagine me doing any finish work on these. It's just too bloody small, man. $100. These are they're killer, dude. Killer. They really are. Told one headlight out of my Bronco in the snow last week. 1/18 smallest. Yeah, man. I think these are great, though, for people who like small stuff, which isn't me, but I had to have it, dude. Every now and then something comes along that's like benchmark in the world of RC. I've got 24 scales. I don't mess with them. This came along. I knew it was going to be a smash. Had to get one. And I let it pass me by on the Bronco and the Jeep. But when the K10 came, I'm like, all right, sign me up, dude. Go to my Horizon link if you're going to get the C+, please. Unless you do Amazon, which you could do that there too. Yeah, these are nice. And the body I printed off, though, it sucks. It was a file Kelly had that he was going to kind of solve some problems with a file, but I don't think he ever got around to it. And he sent it to me, and I just hadn't printed anything for a while. So I was like, just let me send it. I'm just going to go ahead and print it. So this little Hilux body, it's all right, but it's nothing as good as it's nothing as good as just what comes on here already, though.
Are we talking about Hilux?
Yeah, just because we ran out of things to talk about.
Nice. Well, I'm here now. Ask away.
Yeah, this thing sucks.
Hey, sorry, Ryan. I'm extremely late. Just had some things had to work through over here on this side of the fence.
No worries, man. I had already written you off for tonight.
Yeah, well, I was able to get things squared away, and here I am.
Awesome.
So yeah,
your turn.
My turn. I don't. Honestly,
Bro,
I don't.
I've been going off.
Dude, you know what? I haven't watched a stitch of any of this, so fill me in, catch me up. What's going on? Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sorry I'm late to the party. That looks really good.
It drives. It's done except for paint.
Oh, man. Yeah, that looks great.
It's done except for paint, bro. Look at all that hardware on there, man. I mean, those rock rails and the inner fenders, brother. This thing is buttoned up.
Yeah, that I can't wait to see that thing in person. That's awesome.
Well, if you thought the Phoenix was good, this is going to be just as good.
Even better.
Just as good. And I think I got rid of the Phoenix tonight, which I'm a little heartbroken, but also that's okay.
Whoa. Hold up.
You already know.
What? The
I've
Chris
been trying to sell the Phoenix for a minute, dude.
Did Chris pull the trigger?
I think it's happening, yeah.
Oh boy.
That way I can build another kit. I told guys tonight, it's like, I don't even care if it's for me. Like, I will build your kit for a small, nothing fee.
Well, you know what? Hey, take and buy it, send it to Ryan. He'll put it together. We'll all take it for a drive, and then we won't bash on it. We'll just give her a nice little gentle drive and then ship it to you.
I may not even need to drive it.
Let's see.
But yeah, dude, this thing was, bro, you've built some base camp kits and 10-3s. I highly recommend, if you enjoy building like I do, don't take my word for it. Read the book for yourself.
And I do.
Reading Rainbow, Origin Classic, lock it in, put it in your cart, and pull the trigger, dude.
Sounds fantastic. Well, maybe one of these days, we'll see, To answer your question, Mike Bird, how's it going? At some point, Ryan will talk me into a Vanquish kit. I'm sure it'll happen.
Dude, it's a Scout, bro. I mean, come on.
We do like our Scouts. Although I think that proportionally, they got it wrong. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I know you are. I
It
already
looks
know.
good. Yeah, I had to say it for fun. It looks good. Looks great.
Dude, I can't wait. I think I'm going to do the Snow Star on this.
Are you?
Yeah.
It took that, my head's been in a lot of places tonight. It took me a minute for that to register. I would. Why not? You've been there once. Do it again. It'll be easier.
Bro, it's a Scout, brother. They won't call it that. It's not officially licensed, but I'm going to call it that.
Yeah.
And it's not a Scout 2. It's one of the good ones, like the 800.
It's 800A, whatever. Yep. Late 60s, early 70s.
Bro,
800.
new Patagonias, new Endure deep dish. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, Francis. Yeah, I show up at the right time, don't I? I'm just glad that Ryan even saw me in the waiting room going, hey, I'm over here.
Yeah, I'm surprised I did because I've been going off, bro.
Nice. Oh, so Chris is jumping on a DXC Plus, huh? Maybe. Nice.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so
you can't beat it, dude. I like it because it'll do the little stuff SLT and it'll do DSMR. It's been really easy to dial in the snowplow, the second gear servos, dig servos, all that stuff. And then if I've got Arma or Losi or the little stuff, I could bind this son of a gun to this if I want.
That's great.
It
Fantastic.
is.
Yeah.
For like $160. I can't believe that's all it is.
Yeah, that's a steal.
It's an easy 260 radio, bro.
Hey, what's the model memory on that? How many miles can you put in that?
More than you'll ever have.
Don't say that. Don't say that, Ryan.
I don't even know how many, dude.
You know how we are. We're like everybody else in this hobby. Yep, gotta have this. Yep, gotta have one of these. Let's have 10 base camp kits. 7 or 8 pre-runners, a few bashers. And
I'll tell you what, in my short time I've had this, I've got I got 13 on here now.
No, I believe that. I believe that.
Dude, it's got so now the pre-runners on here, Typhon Groms on here, the big Snow Stars on here, the Coyotes on here, the Bronco that I no longer have is on here, the Mojave's on here, the other SCX6 is on here, the Guillemon's on here, FJ40's on here, the other pre-runners on here, the LC80 from FMS, and the new Vanquish is on here. But my race rigs are still on my DX5 Pro.
So here's the question that I'll ask, and I'm sure there's others in this thread that are probably thinking the same thing. When are we going to attempt to put an airplane on that radio?
It won't work.
Dang.
I mean, unless you put a surface receiver in an airplane.
I think, has that ever been done? Has anybody tried that?
I mean, probably by mistake.
I think we should try it.
I think it's asking for it. Probably.
Hey, it'd be a great video. Why not? It'd get millions of views, and it would be fantastic. Flying a float plane off the water with a surface radio. So the question is, do we put down and up on the
I don't.
throttle?
The question is not for me because I won't do it.
I'll try it. I got enough airplanes that I probably don't care about. I'll try it with one. Let's go. Let's try it.
Get a surface receiver and see if you can do it.
Like what Mike Bird just said. Definitely a challenge. We like challenges over here. We do weird things.
One challenge for me is waking up every day
Yeah, no kidding.
and pretending. I mean, and the award goes to my gosh, brother. You know,
I get it.
yeah, dude. Congrats, homie's getting a nice Phoenix.
Yes, he is. Yes, that's a super cool, slick rig with a lot of add-ons. It's awesome.
Dude, 2800 kV.
And a killer paint job.
Not bad. Thank you.
Not bad. It's great.
Not bad for a first timer. 20 model memory, he says.
20?
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, a lot of the Surface radios seem like they're hovering between 20 and 30. I think mine are 30. I think. Pretty sure.
I'm going to send him the call outs for all the business, all that servo business, bro.
Buy the book, everybody. Buy the book.
Well, when you're doing shift servos on a kit build, there's not really a call out for that. You're kind of on your own to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
And what happens on a shift servo is it only needs to go this far, but it throws like this. So don't hook anything up until you dial them down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what
I
you're
burned
saying.
out 2 servos setting that one up originally.
Wow.
I didn't know.
Those small servos, I burn up the small servo in your
standard.
In your old Jeep, the small servo,
Those
the shift servo.
Yeah,
dude, that thing. I went through 2 of those, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I know how to set endpoints, but here's the question. So the other day when we were out trailing, Kirk mentioned to me, because I have issues since I switched to my aftermarket radio on my number 1 SCX6 of getting that endpoint set right on the 6 for the first and second gear. And Kirk told me that there's a servo saver on that. On the shift servo on the SCX6. Can anybody answer that question for us?
I don't think so, bro.
I would look myself, but I told you the other day, all my stuff's in the basement now.
I will look right now in the documentation.
Because I don't remember seeing one on there, but Kirk said there's one there because he actually set his up on his aftermarket radio not long ago, and he told me that there's a servo saver on that.
There might be.
Shift servo.
And here's the deal. I'm not going to look it up because if there is or if there isn't, you still have the same job to do.
Right, but see, that's what I'm saying. My endpoints maybe my endpoints just aren't right yet because
totally.
Mine in second gear, once in a while, it'll pop out.
Man, you just either increase or decrease.
Yep.
That travel. Because when I first put this C plus on one of the 6s, it was like Chris was talking about the other day, where you can actually program in neutral. So if you had to pull one out of the woods, you wouldn't necessarily have to take off the drive shafts. You just dial in neutral, which is just to disengage the gear.
Yep. So Kirk did that with his. He's got a toggle switch, a 3-way switch on his radio. And so he told me, he's like, yeah, I got it set for first gear, neutral, and second gear. And I'm like, yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you? Might as well. Because here's the thing. If you do have a problem out in the woods, you got to drag the thing out of there, right? So put it neutral and hook a rope to it and drag it out.
There you go. And you can dial that in or have it in ahead of time.
Yep.
Whatever. But I remember playing with, and on the Vanquish, the shift servos are standard size. They're still big servos. They're not the little shit garbage that comes with some stuff.
The garbage trash. Yep.
So, and I remember dialing in a little bit better on the shift, either whichever end. Because if you're still engaged, that's when you hear extra little stuff when you're rolling. So you can kind of dial some of that out if you take your time. But since that thing is set up and he's going to be on Spectrum, the settings I have, I'll get to him and he'll be starting from a pretty good spot. But if it were like, let's say my settings on one SCX6 for the shift servo, and then I copy that model, and which is exactly what I did. Once I set up the Snowstar, I copied it and then bound up the other 6 to it. But the neutral could be off one tooth this way or that way on the shift servo, and those numbers, they're close, but they don't apply anymore. So it makes sense that you can give somebody some settings for a point of reference, but it may not be right on the money. Now, I think for Chris, it probably will be because it's the same rig, same setting, same company.
Same radio. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the protocols of DSMR, which is the surface protocol, versus DSMX, which is the air protocol, will not transcend. But the SLT you find on little tiny trucks, Micro Bs, Micro Ts, SCX 30s, SCX 24s, Armagrams, can be bound to this radio. So this will do big stuff like the Monster Creighton or Outcast or 6S, whatever. You know what I'm saying? All of the 223S Armas, the little stuff. So all the surface stuff from Horizon, this C Plus will do.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do airplanes on it. I mean, just you can't.
Hey, Jeff, what's up, man?
What up?
Yeah. Well, one of these days, you know what? Einstein over here, we'll try it. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. We'll do a video. It'll be crash perfect. Who cares? Whatever.
Do it.
Who cares? But from my camp over here, I just finished overnight Blazer SCX6 Blazer number 2. So I've got one out of all black PLA plus or PLA hyper PLA filament, and one out of white. So seats are all done. The only thing I got left to do is the steering wheels, and I think I'm going to use steering wheels from a different file than what comes with this set of files, just to kind of replicate what I'm trying to go after. So
nice.
Yeah. I think one of them's going to be actually the I hate to say it, but one of them is going to be the 54 Chevy steering wheel.
Why do you hate to say it?
Because I'm not a big fan of mixing files up a whole lot unless you want to get really dirty and crazy. I like the steering wheel file that's with the one from Blazer, but I like the 3-pronged steering wheel that comes with the 54. So I'm gonna try to make it fit. I'm gonna try to make it work.
Yeah.
So because you always got something you got to alter or change.
Bro, I can't remember. I feel like I've used just whatever a lot. Just like whatever. I feel like I've used the international Travelall files interior on a bunch of stuff.
Yep. I'm really cautious about what I do with these files typically, because it turns into a lot of work. So there's a steering wheel that's in the one that I'm gonna try to replicate, and it kind of really looks like the 54 Chevy steering wheel in the files.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm That's where my head's at. It's where I'm headed. I'm gonna try anyway. But that's Ryan. Check this out. The orange and white one's gonna get that color interior.
Nice.
So, and I've got the wood grain that's on the dash there from when I did the Woody's wagon. So, I'm gonna do some trick stuff on these two, and it's gonna be fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think a lot of what I did early was use the CJ7 dashboard and driver and steering wheel files on anything that I thought I might have wanted to articulate. And so the Willie's wagon is CJ7 interior sized. The little Scout is CJ7 interior sized. I think that's it. The 54 has 54 bits. The Internationals have the Travelogues have what came with them. That's it, really. The Land Rover is what it is.
Yep.
I got to decide if I'm going to do anything to the Corvair inside.
I don't know. What are you going to do with the Corvair? You're going to make that a pre-runner, right?
I'm going to do another one that's a little bigger.
A lot bigger or a little bigger?
Well, a little bigger to fit on the stretch.
Oh, okay. Got you. For the pre-runners, why bother putting interior in them?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Even the crawler version that I'm doing, if I do windows or an interior, it would be in probably the crawler version.
Mm-hmm.
It depends how far I end up going on the pre-runner version. If I have it super dialed in, I'm going to want a race car driver in there. But that one won't have windows. So, yeah, I'm going to print a bigger one of those because that bug pre-runner's already stretched. It's already wide. And the other pre-runner could easily be stretched if I want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drive shafts.
That's that's why I left my 3D printed body from Bizarrodney. All I did is printed 2 halves and I was done. Threw some paint on it. I didn't as bad as we beat these things. I was like, number one, I want to see how it holds up, right? When we're ripping and hitting each other and bashing into each other and rolling over jumps and stuff. And I didn't want to put a bunch of time into it.
That's the thing. I kind of want to see how
Kelly take a nap tomorrow. Right on. Nice.
We'll see how tough it's going to be. Man, I'm not trying to do updates right now. Y'all can go to hell. I'm going to wrap it soon. It's 9. So.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Again, sorry I was late. I was like, man, I'm done with everything I need to do. I got time. Let's jump in and join Ryan for a little bit and say hi to everybody. And I hated to leave you hanging, but yeah, had some things we had to take care of. So,
well, I have done this by myself before.
Oh, I know you have. Yeah, but you moved to Wednesday night for me, and we went early for me, and I didn't want to bail on you completely. So,
no, that's cool because I was kind of thinking to myself, what the hell? I could have went to work after work today.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, it's fine. It's fine, dude. I get shit on all the time. It's no big deal.
Jeez. Well, you know how to make a brother feel loved, man.
Hey, man, it is what it is. No, it's
Chris,
totally fine.
Chris, I'll look at your message. I've been a little bit consumed in the last 24 hours or so. So I'll take a look at it after we're done here in the live stream and see what's going on. I'm guessing it's probably the area and the doghouse that sits over the top of the motor, right, Chris? Because I'm guessing that you're probably going to have to lightly sand out a little bit of material to get that to sit far enough down over the top of the motor for it to fit properly. And if we had to guess, Pete probably did the same thing.
Well, can't you take off that motor cover?
SCX6.
Yeah. And there's some goofy fake motor cover.
No, I'm talking about actually the bell housing that sits right over the top of the motor at the back between the seats, right at the firewall.
Non-manifold edges, he says.
Oh.
You got supports dialed in and all that?
Let me, Chris, email me the file that you're having the problems with, and I'll fix it for you and send it back. That's an easy fix. I know exactly what he's talking about. You and I talked about this. We had the same problem when I work out files and change things. It takes a Windows-based computer to fix some of those things, and then you have to save it after I take it from a Windows-based computer, resave it after it's been worked out, and then send it back to you. It's confusing, but it's a simple fix.
Yeah, when he fixes it, he loses the grill.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, we'll talk about this offline. That's fine. I'll fix it for you. Or you can run it grillless.
You run it on an air radio. I mean, shoot.
Just take a piece of Windows screen, cut it out, glue it in, put a Chevy emblem on it, and you're good.
Hey, here's a question for you. Here's a question I asked the class earlier.
See you later, Ty.
So if you on Amazon order an item and it's wood and it says 4 surfaces, do you think they mean it's a piece of wood, man? You think they really mean the front and back, or do they mean 4 pieces? Well, I'll tell you. You already know, by the way.
I know what you're going to say. You got 2. You thought you were going to get 4.
Yeah, these bastards are selling the front and back. Like, if that's not the understood you of the statement, like, you know what? Just give me the fronts.
Right?
What?
I'll tell you how many I need. Just tell me the fronts.
Bro.
Just one surface is all I need, and I'll go from there.
Keep the back.
So
that's like ordering a supersized number 2 at Wendy's,
right? And
a bowl of chili, and then ordering a large Diet Coke. And because you're on a diet, you tell them to throw half of the nuggets and half of the French fries away. Why would you order that much? I don't get it. So 4 surfaces. They're selling front and back. That's just blows my mind, bro. I kind of thought I was getting 4.
Right. Well, it's like my dumb ass over here. My fiance was like, "Oh, we need a couple new patio chairs." I'm like, "Yeah, we do for the deck."
It's December, brother.
No. This was like a year and a half ago. Okay, but I'll never forget this. Literally, never forget this. And I'm like, "All right, yeah, all right." So we're out floating on the boat, and I'm thumbing through stuff and drinking a beer and having my fun. And I'm like, "Hey, what do you think of these?" And she's like, "I love it." All right, I'll get 2 of these. So I ordered 2, quantity 2. So like a week later, I get 4 big ass boxes at the front doorstep, and I'm like, what in the snot nose is this? I didn't realize that quantity 1 was 2. So I have 4 lounge chairs out here on the deck that I only really wanted 2. So I get your pain, Ryan. I feel you.
Dude,
You got to be careful with Amazon. They'll get you.
come on, bro. Just like the 10.3 transmission that is legit just for a 10.2.
Yeah, right. It'll fit any 10.3. It'll fit any
Bastards.
10.3.
Bastages.
Nice. DOC or was it Doc RC Adventures? What's
Dwayne.
happening?
It's Dwayne.
It is Dwayne. Yeah. Mike Bird, Dallas Furniture. You got it, man. Absolutely. But yeah, I was like, I told her, I'm like, these things were expensive. Well, yeah, they were because I bought 4 of them. Didn't even know it. I'm like, really?
That's what happens, I guess.
That's what happens, regardless if you're buying wood or patio furniture. Be careful, guys.
How in the world 4 surfaces? Who lists it that way? It came from like Ohio or Pennsylvania. It's not like you got language barrier for an excuse.
I got to ask the ultimate golden question about this. Is it real wood?
It's birch, yeah.
Okay, well, we got that going for us then. All right, that's fine. Whatever.
I thought you were going to ask me Bad Bunny or Turning Point USA.
No,
show.
We don't go there on live streams. Come on, man. Because you know what my answer is.
I don't know. I know what mine is, which might surprise you.
I watched live stream. Let's put it that way.
I'm not a racist, so I watched the real halftime show.
All right. Well, hey, that's good.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding because that's the way they make. Not everything has to be polarizing, right? It's okay if you like this. It's okay if you like that. Take a note from the Stoics. You don't have to care.
Right. Hey,
but I'll tell you this.
It's our choice. We can watch what we want.
One of my best friends was Puerto Rican. This guy is Puerto Rican. He looked just like my buddy, bro.
Yeah.
And honestly, I guess I thought it was going to be crazy. I just didn't change the channel. When I don't watch TV, so when it's on, I leave it on so I can see the commercials like the old days before we were streaming everything.
Right.
It's a nostalgia deal.
Yeah.
And for the Super Bowl, I want to see the ads, even though they're garbage. So I left it on. And Turning Point, I don't know, man. I think they could do a better job with the whole investigation. So I think it's a little weird. So I'm just not like super fans right now. And anything that's super polarizing, I'm like, I don't know. So I just watched the regular old thing. And I expected it to be Hell's Kitchen or something. And it had some flavor, man. But that's all.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Hey, you know what? This is America. You know what? We can watch, we can see, we can do whatever we want, and it's okay.
Exactly, dude.
You know,
and listen, I'm a Christian.
I don't have.
But I didn't watch Turning Point. I didn't watch Turning Point. I wanted to see what everybody was seeing.
Yeah,
and it's the Super Bowl halftime show is, even if it's garbage, it's our Super Bowl halftime show, and so I just watched it, and I think it's whatever you want to do.
Yep, exactly. 100%.
But I just think it's funny, and I'm only bringing it up because people get spun up over everything, bro. And I just don't think it was that deep this time. It wasn't that deep. They made a lot of stink over nothing.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm getting to the point where I watch less and less of news anymore for that reason. If I have the news on, it's at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's white noise for me. And more importantly, if you guys, a lot of people on here are music people. They love your music, Ryan, that you did back in the day. And I'm gonna say it. I got Bree and I got asked to go to a concert with some friends back a couple months ago here locally. And I'm like, okay, hey, I like music, live music. Who in the hell are we going to see? And I got to tell you, this band has become one of my new favorite bands, and they're out of Nashville, and it's a Christian band, believe it or not. It's called Need to Breathe. And if you haven't seen these guys, check them out, man.
Nice.
Bear
Grills.
the lead singer's first name is Bear, Ryan.
Oh, okay.
Ryan, and so when you watch like they got a really good live version of their concert from Bridgestone Arena on YouTube. Dude, I will tell you, these guys pour their heart out into the music, and I love that about a good live band. They're so much better live than they are in studio, and I absolutely love that. I absolutely love it. Like OAR, I'm a big OAR fan, or a Dave Matthews band fan. Dude, when these guys get out on stage, Ryan, it becomes a big jam fest, and these guys, there's 6 or 7 of them up there just knowing exactly what each one's next move is. And the harmonizing and the music and the instruments it's just amazing.
That's fun.
So anybody hasn't checked it out, go check out Need to Breathe. Really, really, really good band. And
Nice.
pay attention to their bass player. He has probably one of the best voices for harmonizing that I have ever heard in my entire life.
Has he got the Fliggle Giggles?
He's got the Fliggle Giggles. He's got everything, Ryan. This dude has it all, man. The long hair, split right down the middle.
Fliggle Giggles? Noodle? Noodleectomy? I always think of the Seinfeld chase. Whatever. The bass line.
Don't get me started on Seinfeld. I watch it religiously every night. That's why I fall asleep too. And when I wake up at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, wide awake, thinking about work and 3D printing and all of this crap that's in my head, Seinfeld comes back on yet again.
There you go. I see a lot of Office highlights. I've been watching a ton of y'all. We're going to lose all 14,000 we got in here right now. But I've been watching a lot of, it's not reptilian lizard people this time. I've been watching a lot of theological discussions, which are super fun.
Okay.
Yeah, like old writings and parchments and papyrus and discoveries and biblical things. So it's been awesome. It's been awesome. Some super smart guys, because there's some people that get their, history from Amazon books based upon BS that never existed, no one ever produced historical evidence for.
Yep.
And then other people are literally like Dead Sea Scrolls and stuff that's real. And so, yeah, I've been really digging a lot of, listen, church on Sunday's great, but it's dessert. I want steak and potatoes. So get into it, right? And usually when they get into it, they can create the context around the writing or around the story already.
Sure.
And it's more impactful. And hearing these guys that are like some of these dudes, they got into it because they wanted to prove it or disprove it. And what they've realized, because some people who don't know what they're talking about will say, well, it's a translation of a translation of a translation of a translation. Okay. And it's as close as you can be to the original as you'll find. And it's magical in a way that it's still how it stood the test of time. And it still jives with the original writings, whether it's Greek or Hebrew or Sumerian or whatever.
Sure.
And so that has been a blast.
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah.
These super smart guys who maybe went into it thinking otherwise, and they end up, it just proves it to them. And you would think when there's a discovery, like the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered in like the 40s or something. And you're thinking that when you have a discovery like this, or you find scripture, it's going to rewrite history. No, it says the same thing now when it was found as the ones that were found thousands of years before it.
Yep.
And so that's pretty neat that it can stand the test like that. And
yep.
With the Dead Sea Scrolls, they found all kinds of things. So they found scripture, but they also found just all kinds of like local documents and land contracts and business stuff, which just helps create context around the time.
Mm-hmm.
But they found like the whole book of Isaiah and pieces of other ones, and the what they found matches what they already had.
Yep.
So it just, instead of rocking the boat of what you believe, it just confirms it a little more, which is fantastic, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. I'm in the book of John right now, working my way through the New Testament, and then I'll start at the beginning.
That's something that I've challenged myself with here recently, is to start.
It's so worth it, bro.
I've never done it, and I think my fiance is on like the second time through, and she's like, I learned something. I'm learning more every time I go back and read it second time or third time, whatever. So yeah, it's like a movie, like a trilogy, like the Back to the Future. You watch all three of them, you learn something. I've watched them things like I don't know how many times, and I'm like, never saw that before, but like you talking about watching all of what you were just describing and talking about, I'm glued to YouTube more than I am anything else. I'm a YouTube junkie, and I enjoy being on here and being a part of the YouTube community, at this point. And I came across an interview the other day with one of the Hollywood guys, Matthew McConaughey, and some of the things that he was talking to and some of the ways he was answering questions really like kind of captured my interest. So, I have Poems and Prayers book that I just got actually delivered tonight. And I am not a book reader at all. My fiance is a huge book reader, and I'm buying her books now quite often. And so I bought this for her and I both. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I made a commitment to myself before I start in the Bible. I'm going to start with this and read this. And because I really, really, it resonated for some of the things he was talking about. So for me personally, so I'm going to read it.
Dude, and the way the algorithm feeds you, right? So it's like I watch a few discussions, debates.
Yep.
On apologetics. There's this guy, Wes Huff, that is super smart. I mean, these guys go to the source. The dudes can read multiple languages. They go to the places where it was discovered, like all this cool stuff. And so then it starts feeding you. I'm getting all this algorithm fed to me now. And I'm just like, well, I let it rock and sit there and listen and wrench. And like you were saying earlier, it is living, where I can't believe how powerful it is for how old it is. But I'm not surprised because, the interesting thing for me, like you said, you've never read it. I haven't either, but I've believed it forever. Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm tired of being lazy about it. And I tried it before. And Genesis killed me. It got into the whoever begat this guy begat. I fell off. I would suggest to anybody thinking about it, dude, start in the New Testament. Matthew is one of my favorites. That was the first book in the Old Testament or New Testament. And it's one of my favorites still after I've read a few now. And there's good in all of it. But with the New Testament, it takes some theology to be able to tie together some of the Old Testament stuff with New Testament, right? It's a lot of prophecy and there's a lot of symbolism and things. But like the words in red are Jesus talking. Like that's when he was here doing his ministry, setting it up, getting it right. And it was all prophesied before in the Old Testament. But it's just fantastic to be able to read his words, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like Matthew's beautiful. It's almost poetic the way a lot of the stories, I mean, it's the same story, different accounts. But Matthew's just poetic, man. And there's this, they call it the Beatitudes or something, but it reminds you kind of the vibe of Proverbs, but or even Psalms a little bit, but Matthew, bro. So I would say anybody who maybe tried before, had trouble, man, starting the New Testament, dude. I think it makes it easier. And instead of like doom scrolling, like that's what I'll do now sometimes. A few times a week I'll read it. And it's been amazing.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah,
That's
dude.
awesome. I'm riding your coattails, brother, because Wednesdays I'm gonna start.
It's worth it, man. And you're like, why did I wait so long? Why I wait so long? And I said this the other day where it's like, you know what? Sometimes you don't understand it. I'll read it twice, 3 times, maybe still don't get it. But it doesn't matter. There's still a benefit for doing it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
absolutely.
It's just neat.
Yeah.
And I've heard people say it takes more faith to believe that nothing is the reason for all of this than to accept that there is divinity and a creator to it.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, man. I highly recommend it.
So Ryan, I think you know this, but anybody else that's watching this or going to watch it, my fiance, she's an outdoor girl. She's a master gardener. And I think I've said this before, but at the end of the day, she sat me down one night in here and she's like, watch this video or watch this movie or this documentary or whatever it was. And it was about like all the insects that live around us and in our world and what they do and how they benefit our ecosystem. And I got so flipping consumed into this video. I'm like, I'm gonna go back. I gotta go back and watch this again. I had no idea that, Dave Matthews, he's got something going on when he's writing songs about ants marching. Damn straight he does. I mean, an ant, like, because I'd kill an ant that's crawling across my deck, and she'd be like, oh, she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, it's an ant. But when you watch this movie, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously, it's funny how that works, right? And
yeah,
I mean, kind of if it's in my house, it's fair game, bro. I'm sorry. But outside, I'm gonna leave you alone. I'll step around you, over you. Like, it's cool. Inside, forget about it. This is my house.
If there's an ant crawling across the floor in here, she'll pick it up. She'll scoop it up, put it on her hand, take it outside, and put it outside. So yeah, Mike Bird, you're right, 100%. Yeah, if I watched this, I'm not kidding you. I was so dialed in on this, and I'm like, I had no idea what some of these insects that live in around us. And it's like when you stop and take a deep breath, and you're standing outside, and you're looking at the trees, looking at the birds, looking at the sky, the clouds, sun, moon, everything around us. There's a whole world that how should I put this? Like, you got the birds chirping and stuff, and it's just like the whole nature thing is they're all interacting together within our everyday life.
Dude, the frequencies of the bird voices do something beneficial for pollination, and everything is tied together. Yeah.
Oh, it is. It is
purposefully, and they call it general revelation, where just the outside of it all, what you mentioned, is the proof already.
Yep. It's wild, because we don't think about that stuff when we're driving around. We're driving through our neighborhood. We see our neighbors and stuff. Dude, there's neighborhoods and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and family members all around us, everywhere.
I do better when I feel like when I'm being more aware of the connection.
Yeah.
Because I find myself reaching for the word now more often than ever. When I'm having a hard time or I'm just angry, you know, I mean, stupid stuff like road rage, right? Where you dirty, rotten, you know, whatever, right? And no, they didn't hear me. They're in their car,
Right.
I'm in mine. But it's like
Mm-hmm.
that extra moment of time to consider the day they're having, or that they're your brother or sister, calms you down. Does
Yep.
me. Where
Yep.
it's like, all right, that's one of God's own, and they're not a dirty, rotten whatever, because they're also made in his image like I am.
Mm-hmm.
So calm down.
Yep.
It's not that deep, Ryan. You'll get to the convenience store when you get to the convenience store. It's okay if Judith is taking too long making a left-hand turn when she should have went down a block so she could have had the light.
Right.
But it's okay, Judith. It's fine.
You need to put Bob's RC's comment up there. That one right there.
There you go. Yep.
I believe we are not human having a spiritual experience, but a spirit having a human experience. Yeah. Spot on.
You ever see the way bees communicate to each other?
Oh.
And the thing that, the way ants get along and do what they do. Crazy.
They cover all of that. They go through the whole insect crowd on this video I watched with her. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it opens your eyes to a whole nother perspective of where we come from, who created us, and everything living around us that is all part of our everyday ecosystem. It's crazy.
And I think more perspective too is it puts this world we live in now, which I feel like is engineered distraction from the truly important things. It's not by accident. We're in this rat race. You know what I'm saying? If you're busy trying to survive, you're not seeking enlightenment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you're just barely getting on and in this race, there's a reason. It's to keep you from, listen, the enemy's number one job, and he doesn't care how he does it, is to keep you from your creator, to distract you from your creator, no matter what it is.
Yep.
And this world's full of that. But when you come close, you get to take a breath, realize it's not that deep. I have to tell myself all the time, because I get all worked up over everyday routine, duties, work, responsibilities, and handle them, you know, but it's not that deep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was just going to comment that I read this right after I pulled the book out of the box. It says on the back, the victor sees the light last. The final believer wins the crown. Don't pull the parachute too early. Fly until you touch down. And with that, I said hello to everybody. I got involved. I didn't waste your night. And I have not ate dinner yet again. So it must be frozen pizza Wednesday night, I guess. I don't know.
That's right. Yeah, some of these insects that by engineering rights should not perform, but they do. Yeah, it's not sometimes what we think it is that makes things work. It's totally magic. Yeah, dude, Francis. I mean,
yeah.
To me, what's so interesting with we'll wrap this, but one of the things I really love about watching the theologians debate, or discuss, and do these talks is the way they're able to draw it together. And so much of the Torah, right, the Old Testament, is prophetic. It had to happen. It was written then, and it came to fruition in the New Testament and still, to this day and all.
Mm-hmm.
It's none of it's by just whatever. And these guys will be able to draw these parallels, and it's like, yeah. And there were certain things in place and certain laws that were in place and customs and things where they got corrupted. And so there's a new way. Used to be the lamb, and animals that were sacrificed back in, Old Testament times. They messed up the way they did that. The book of Malachi tells you, the last book of the Old Testament, it tells you how it used to be. And the Lamb of God, John calls him the Lamb of God, right? Because he is we didn't get it right with the rites and the laws and the sacrifices in the old days, because instead of offering the best sacrifices to God, we kept the good meat for the Pharisees and politicians, and we got it twisted. We got it corrupted. So, for he so loved the world, he sent his only begotten son, so we could all have everlasting life and not perish if we believeth on him. Mm-hmm. And he's the Lamb of God, sacrificed on the cross, sinless and perfect, to get it right, what we didn't get right before, and to give us this gift that all we have to do is accept it, because our works won't get us there.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the best story ever.
Yep.
I love you guys. Yeah. We're going to roll in 5. That's a 4. 5. Hang rats forever. We'll throw you later. You're too good to be forgotten. We'll see you next time. Bye now.
See you guys.
Boom.